Shalom, friends. This evening at sunset, we celebrate Bishvat. Bishvat literally translates to the 15th day of the Hebrew month of Shevat and is celebrated as the Jewish New Year of Trees or the Jewish birthday of trees. Bishvat occurs during the winter, and upon closer examination, one may think it is counterintuitive to celebrate the birthday of trees during winter. Wouldn't it be more fitting to do so in spring, when everything is in bloom? This is what makes this day even more meaningful. There are roughly 73,300 species of trees in the world, with several of them being very rare and only found in specific places. I love hiking and taking long walks in the parks and on trails. And I always leave with a new lesson or just a whole new appreciation of nature. As I examine the trees around me during this cold winter time, they all sing different songs. The tune takes you to different places and minister to your soul, invoking a plethora of emotions. Their songs are all beautiful, while still being a bit melancholy, but beautiful. Everything in life and upon this earth teaches us lessons, and today I would like us to look at a few things that we can learn from trees and Bishvat. Now let's examine the first lesson. Trees teach us patience, the importance of investing while having faith and waiting. We all understand the concept of planting and reaping. We never reap or harvest in the same season we plant. We must wait. When a seed is planted, for germination to occur, many things must be in place. The timing has to be right. The soil must also be the correct type. The place should be where that seed can grow. Then there is watering at the correct time and in the right amount, and so on. Lastly, there is the waiting. We could do everything right and still yield no fruit, because ultimately, God is the one who will do the rest. Herein lies the depth of the first lesson. Bishvat is not a day to celebrate harvest. It is a day that teaches us to prepare for the future by investing. We plant and have faith while we wait. It teaches us that we prosper not through our own work, but by faith in God and His ability to do what we can't after we have done our part. We live in a fast-paced era. Patience is a fleeting thought. But once a year, on Bishvat, we are reminded of its importance. We see through trees that development happens beneath the surface, that the process is slow and even messy. However, with patience, devotion, and faith, we and our descendants will reap the beautiful fruits. Also, investing in the future may not yield for us directly, but the legacy of our investment will live on and provide for future generations. This takes us to point number 2. Trees teach us to be resilient. They endure harsh weather and show us we can persevere in hard times. They remind us of our inner strength. Have you ever looked at trees after they have lost all their beautiful leaves from fall? They look bare, very dry, and almost sad. At times, some even appear to be dying. But this is just what is seen from the outside. You see, beneath that rough-looking bark, fresh life pulsates. They are striving. They stand in direct defiance of life's onslaught, ready for their rebirth. Life can be cold and rough on us. We sometimes feel as though this shell that holds our souls are too broken to continue. Our shells may in fact have scars and physical wounds or even limitations. However, our souls, like the roots of trees and what lies under their barks, are strong and beautiful and can never be destroyed by the storms of life when we are rooted in God. Like the trees, we must push through and wait in faith, knowing that once the season changes, what will emerge are beautiful fruits. Number 3, trees teach us that we are all beautiful, different, and go through our own metamorphosis at different times. I love examining trees during the autumn. The fall foliage is breathtaking. There are yellows, oranges, greens, and reds. It makes you stand in awe of Hashem and His magnificence. But then, the leaves begin to fall as we approach winter, and the naked limbs appear sad and cold. But are they? I'm sure we all know the answer to this. A resounding no. Metamorphosis must occur for the beauty and fruits to appear once more. The circle of life, you may even say. The cyclical nature of everything. A time of rest must happen for rebirth to take place. You may be going through the fallen leaves stage now, and it is painful and sometimes may even seem hopeless. But know that your metamorphosis will end. Nothing transforms constantly. Be patient. Nurture yourself during this period and wait in faith, knowing that the fruit will be very sweet. Interestingly though, not all trees lose their leaves during fall. The evergreens stand tall and, as their name suggests, green. Does it make the other trees envious? Of course not. This is not a trait that they possess. But it stands to remind us that even though we are all experiencing metamorphosis, it doesn't always happen in the same way or even at the same time. Also, even though all trees aren't stripped bare, doesn't mean that they are spared from nature's onslaught. Some evergreens do in fact turn a little brown, though they never shed. Some scars are buried deep on the inside, and others show on their barks. So, this reminds us to never compare our metamorphosis to someone else's. We are all going through something, and our shells or barks aren't always a true reflection. So be kind to yourself and everyone you encounter. Speaking of encounter, be sure to join us this Shabbat at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the word entitled Encountering God. Now let's examine one last lesson from trees. Trees waste nothing. The fallen leaves from trees are used as fertilizer for that very tree as well as for others. They are also used as compost and mulch. In the same way, our trials and shedding all have value. They are life lessons. They teach us about ourselves. They enable growth. They enact change. They are stepping stones to the next level. No experience, no matter how painful, is ever wasted. They are our fertilizers, our mulch for our beautiful gardens, and the fortitude in which we stand. So this year, as we celebrate Bishvat, I pray that you will use these lessons from nature and stand tall and strong like the oak, Brazilian cherry, and the ironwood trees, knowing that the change that is happening is necessary, that in the next season your investment will be ready, and that investment will continue to yield for generations to come. Hag Sameach.